Yvette.
Hi, Rachel.
How are you today?
I'm well, thank you. How about yourself?
Great.
I'm happy to be here and share a little bit about whatever I can with you.
I don't think I know quite the breadth of iTutor itself. And so,
Well, no, thank you. Thank you for, helping us get the word out, and thank you for being an ambassador all the time.
you're welcome. Yvette, to me, has been the Alaska program I've been a part of. She's been such a supportive person to help us educators, and I really enjoyed whenever we had trainings and stuff, I always felt very encouraged, and she's an integral part of iTutor. So let's dive in to the questions.
Thank you. Yes. Happy to do it.
Thank you.
Well, let's see. Let's start off by, I'm an educator by trade. I've been in education for 25 years now. I know, it's a long time. I was in the classroom for 15 of those years, and I was an administrator for the other 7. And then these last 3 I've been with iTutor. So I've been, still an educator, still doing instructional coaching and things like that. But with iTutor, I have a kind of a 2-pronged job, I guess, if you want to think about it. I work with the academics team and supporting the educators, doing any professional development with them and just supporting however I can for their programs. And I also work on the business development side of iTutor. So I get to go and, go to conferences and, do speeches and presentations, and I get to go and meet, lots of different people in different states. So I actually really, really like what I do with iTutor. So sort of an ambassadorial role, kind of like yours is, but with me, it's, we do a lot of facing presentations with like the districts and the superintendents and things like that. So lots of different people that we get to meet all across the country. And so that's what I do with iTutor. Again, with the academic side and with the business development side as well. All right, so let's see. We are in El Paso, Texas, in West Texas, and my husband and I just celebrated our 25th wedding anniversary. We have 6 kiddos. 5 of our kiddos are adopted, fostered, etc. And our youngest is our only biological daughter. So let's see, my kids are 33, 31, 26. The boys are 23, and our youngest is 21. So yeah, it keeps everything interesting. They're all grown now and all in school or out of school and doing their jobs and pursuing careers. So yeah, we've been blessed to have a big family and have the house full of kids all the time.
That's so great. How long have you been working for iTutor?
I'm actually going on 3 years with iTutor now, and they've gone by super fast. It has been just a whirlwind, getting to know all of the technology side of education and working in, ed tech has been a very, very new experience for me. So yeah, 3 years almost. Super exciting to work with all of the educators and get to do it on a unique platform. Well, I'm an instructional coach on the academic side, and then I'm actually the National Education Services Director with iTutor. Yeah, so I get to work with all of the team that does all of the national outreach. Yes, actually, let's see. Last year, I think I traveled about a little over 100,000 miles, maybe. By the time we were done, I was traveling, I think 15 or 16, days out of the month. And so I went everywhere from, let's see, what was the farthest I went? So we went from New York, all the way from New York, down to Florida, to San Francisco, up in Seattle. I didn't get to go to Alaska because of some, weather patterns, but I was all over the United States. And so now we are actually working with Hawaii and Puerto Rico as well. So we're working on getting them on board and, getting them some services too. So I do a lot of conferences and a lot of presentations all over the nation. Now with COVID, it's been a little bit different. So I haven't traveled since mid-March. So I've been home in West Texas for a little bit now. So getting a little bit cabin feverish, but we'll be okay. Hopefully it'll be over soon, or at least contained enough that we can go back to traveling.
Does most of your family live in Texas then?
Well, I actually have my brother in San Francisco. I do have, my 2 sisters are in Texas. They're in Dallas and in San Antonio. But like I said, one of my brothers is in San Francisco. The other one is in New Mexico, so very close by.
Hopefully you guys can all get together soon and have a
Yes. Yeah, and we've done the Zoom video and celebrated birthdays like that. And my parents' 60th wedding anniversary in July, we celebrated like that. So hopefully we'll get to see each other and be together soon. Being apart right now has been, that one of the hardest parts I think for everybody to deal with. That not being able to be with family, especially when they get sick, and not being able to be there for that. It's been rough for everybody, I think. But for me, that's been the hardest part. We can't travel. I can't see my sisters, who I'm very close to. So. And they can go to www.itutor.com, just like it sounds, itutor.com. And we have all the information on there on the different products, the different things that we do with grant programs with high schools and middle schools and elementary schools. So they can go on the iTutor website and get lots of information about us there.
Is iTutor the same or different than iTutor Group?
We are different. So itutor.com is actually our name. So it's iTutor.com Inc. So iTutor is different from the group. And I know that there's another group called tutor.com too. So it's iTutor.com. And so, yeah, we're different. Our company focuses strictly on educational technology and, equity and access for everybody. Well, we work with schools mostly. We're school partners, but we also work with grant programs that have programs through schools, colleges, universities. So grant programs, what we call all of our K-12. We work with universities and colleges to provide tutoring as well. And we work with consumers now, with private consumers. So if mom and dad, decide that they need some extra tutoring or some help with test prep or something like that, they can hire iTutor as well to do that.
I didn't know that. So parents can hire you directly. They don't have to go through the school system. Is that a new thing?
Yes, very much so. Yeah, so we have test prep, and we have, just tutoring on different courses. We had a summer program where mom and dad could, do some getting the students more advanced or do some remediation if they needed to, maybe some of the gaps that they missed in the spring. So yeah, we actually do what we call B2C, so business to consumer service. Yeah.
That's really cool. If I'm a parent, I could just go on the website, itutor.com.
And then there's also a chat. When mom and dad, come to the website, then a chat will come up and say, can we help you? How can we help you? And then they can tell us, well, I'd like to, talk to somebody about a quote or talk to somebody about the types of services. And then we would get the message internally and then respond to mom and dad and make sure that we get in touch with them.
So here we are, and itutor.com. Mm-hmm. Oh, I see. So this.
Yeah, so, we have the different grant programs, teachers, students on the top. And then under students, where you can go and find information, as a parent.
Students, teachers, schools.
Mm-hmm. So it can be all kinds of different programs. So if you click on student there, it'll bring you to the website. There you go. With the students, you can scroll down. It'll tell you a little bit, and there's a chat. You see the chat came up
right here.
So there's a chat there, and then it talks about how does iTutor work, what is iTutor, why should we do iTutor, and then of course they can go to the frequently asked questions on the bottom of the page and click on there and find the answers to the most frequently asked questions, of course. And then if they need if they have any additional questions or look for additional resources, they can reach out, and then one of us in education services will get back with them. It depends on the type of class and the length of the class. So it depends on, if you go to the services, it'll show you the different services and some of the different price points on there as well. So it says about us and contact us. You can, and then on the top, there's a request a quote button as well. You can go to contact us. Yeah. And it'll bring up some information too. And then, of course, for teachers, there's a button there because we are always recruiting teachers. We want to make sure that we have the, the best quality educators. And so we are always on the lookout for great educators from all over the states. So, iTutor serves, we start in Alaska, we go down to Hawaii, and then from there all the way across the country to New York. We have some partners in Maine and Delaware as well, some in Minnesota. and others in Florida. So, you know, all across the U.S., we have partners in all of the different states. So starting, like I said, with Alaska and Hawaii, moving through California and Washington, Utah, Nevada, Arizona, New Mexico, Texas, Nebraska, Arkansas.
Mm-hmm.
So all of the different, you know, states there from Alaska all the way to Florida. We have partners in all of the different states. Currently, I think we're in about, I want to say about 25 states or so. So we're always, like I said, looking for educators with certifications in all types of subjects and languages. And so anybody who is certified and would like to have an opportunity to work on our platform, you know, I encourage you to go here to the iTutor.com page. Under the Teachers tab, you're able to see, you know, the different opportunities that are available. There you go. So there, see, you can work from home and have a flexible schedule.
Mm-hmm.
And so again, we all of our educators work from home, and they work on the iTutor platform.
Mm-hmm.
And the iTutor platform is, you know, it's very specific to what we do. We do own the platform, so it's it's our platform that we're able to update, you know, whenever we need to add different things to the technology on the platform. You've worked on the platform, so you know how interactive it is, and it allows a lot of flexibility in the classroom, even though we're virtual. Yeah.
Right. And I think that somewhere on the website it said between $21 and $40 is what iTutor teachers get paid. Does that sound about right?
Yes, and it depends on the certification. It depends on, you know, the level of expertise, and of course, if they have any specific certificates or, you know, endorsements that are rare or are more like, you know, math and science or the core subjects versus the languages. So yes, the difference is in the certification and the type of projects that you're able to take on.
Mm-hmm. The great thing I like about iTutor is because it is kind of for teachers, you get paid a very good wage, I feel like, because I work in an ESL community, but you just need a bachelor's degree and no certifications, and just having that certification gives you that extra bump up to work here, I feel like. And so when I was getting my master's degree, I was hired on, I think, like Christian, yes. I got hired. I was getting my master's degree at the time, and I think that's what they wanted, was a special education master's degree that I was getting. And so if anybody has anything like special ed or math or science, right?
Yes. Those are always very highly sought after, because we do have a lot of partners who request math and science tutoring, but we hire only certified educators, but we do hire certified educators for all subjects and grades.
Then after I got my master's, you know, I was able to renew my license easily because of that. So if anybody's thinking about getting your licensure, not sure if that will help, it definitely does help. Take those tests, get yourself certified as a teacher in your state, and they should probably double check with you if their licensure goes straight across the board. Most of the licensure get accepted by the New York, because you guys are in Jericho, New York. So does that like, I was a Minnesota license, so then it was accepted fine by the New York.
Right. So we do like I said, we hire educators from all across the country, from all different states. Depending on the type of program or the type of project that comes up, then they're able to match the educator, you know, that best matches the program that's going to start.
If you have a license in any state, is it always accepted, would you say, by the New York? Or
well, and that's what happens is, you know, in New York State, we can only provide New York State certified educators. But because we have a lot of partners in the different parts of the country, then a lot of our partners actually offer reciprocity to educators. So we have partners that are not just in New York, although that's where our home base is in Jericho. We have partners all over the U.S., and so we're able to employ educators from all over the U.S. to, you know, meet the needs of those partners as well. Yeah,
I see. That's great. Yeah, it's really cool to. I've enjoyed working with iTutor.
We do a lot of professional development with our educators, and of course we do instructional coaching with them as well. We review sessions to make sure that, you know, if there's anything that we can do better or help the educator to do better, we're happy to do that too. So we do a lot of that. as well with iTutor. So right now we have a little bit over 1,700 educators all across the
Wow.
country in all grade levels and subjects. So we're very fortunate to have a nice big pool of educators all across the country.
And I do like the platform. It is different than other platforms because it is very interactive. You can have YouTube videos on there. You can put up PowerPoint slides right on the screen, put pictures on those slides, and
Yes.
use all sorts of tools. And the students can write in different colors as they're writing across. You can have multiple students in one class. And people always ask me, is it one student or more? You know, and sometimes it's 1 to 4. Could be slightly
Yes.
more,
Well,
but
we've done a lot of whole class instruction recently too. When the pandemic, started and everybody had to transition to online to virtual instruction, a lot of our grant partners, were not equipped to do that because that's not something that they had done, technically. And most of the time they were in the high schools or in the schools that they serve. And so when they weren't there, it was hard for them to transition. So over the summer, we did a lot of whole class instruction too, where we were having, a regular, 30 student classroom, for example, and the educators were able to do that. But yes, we do one-to-one services. We do small group services, like I said, the whole class as well. We've done virtual field trips, which you've been a part of now too.
mm-hmm.
So a lot of the different
So
services
fun.
that we've started and that we've been able to to gain some momentum with because of our grant partners. So things like virtual field trips and things like STEM, and STEM labs, being able to do virtual dissection. That's been really fun for the students.
Wow.
This summer, a couple of the programs had electives like fashion design, for example.
Oh,
And so yeah, they
cool.
had a day where the students, would drive and just pick up, their materials so that they
Uh-huh.
were, socially distanced, but they would pick up the materials in the program, and then the educators would be able to do, hands-on components with the students. So fashion design, they were able to do that. We had a food science class where the students cooked with the educators on their, on their device. And
That's
so it
so
was,
cool.
yeah, we were able to go into the students' homes because that's where they were. And
Yeah.
so in order to keep them engaged and in order to do a lot of the, the more hands-on activities, we were able to do things like that. So robotics and fashion design and anatomy labs and food science and just a lot of really neat things that the kids were able to do through our grant partners this year.
That is really neat. I think that's really great to have all those different options.
Absolutely. And, the kids need to be interactive. They need to have hands-on experiences. They don't want to just be staring at the computer all day long.
Mm-hmm.
So in order to address that need, we were able to put those together. And it was a great time for the students, and they enjoyed, having that interactive piece with the educators as well. Yes. If you do one-to-one instruction, and I don't know the specifics,
Right.
obviously, because that's not my department. But yes, it does. It varies whether you do one-to-one or small group or large
Mm-hmm.
group. So it depends on how many students you have, and that pay range is a little bit variable.
So you get paid a little bit more for more children.
Correct. Working from home, it's so nice because you don't have to drive anywhere, you're in your
Mm-hmm.
home. So you save time on the commute there as well. And
Mm-hmm.
so just lots of different reasons that our educators like to work from home. Some are retired and, want to work just a little bit. Others want to work just evenings because they're still in a brick and mortar setting most of the time. So lots of different reasons that our educators are with us, and we love and appreciate them all. So yes, we have educators, that start with our pre-K all the way to 16, well, we call grade 16, which is our, exit level undergraduate. So, up to where they're getting ready to go to graduate school. So GRE and GMAT. So we
Wow.
like to say that we provide services for K to 16 instead of just K to 12, because we work with a lot of colleges and universities now to provide help with them as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think iTutor is really up and coming and really on the edge of this whole wave of online learning.
We're
I'm excited to
so.
see where you guys are going to grow, where you're going to go in these upcoming years.
Yeah, and like I said, we've been able to establish different types of programs and just be innovative with the way that we deliver the instruction to the students so that they get the most out of that. We want to make sure that the students are engaged and always getting the most out of whatever instruction they're receiving. So we are very fortunate to have awesome and dedicated educators like yourself to make those programs available to the students.
Oh, you're so sweet. You're so sweet.
Great question. And actually, the classes It depends on the length of them, depends on what the student is doing. We provide services to some students who are homebound, for example, when, again, pre-COVID, when the students were homebound and we're doing just virtual instruction. So some of those, will range from a few hours a week. Other students we have who are taking in several hours a day of instruction. So just really it depends on what the student needs are. Some of our grant programs, for example, do more of a homework help, office hours drop-in model kind of deal, where the students can come and go as they need help with their homework. So lots of different, models that we are able to provide for our partners, and the times vary. As far as curriculum, if the students are with a school district, we normally will ask the school district for their curriculum or their scope and sequence, their pacing guide, whatever. So some of them are very good and they'll provide them for us. Other districts will say, we'd like for your educator to just go ahead and cover these, different objectives and use whatever materials they decide to use. So a little bit of both. We do have our educators create some of their own, lessons. And then at some times, there are districts who will provide us with the materials that they want covered with the students. So a little bit of both, yeah.
I really liked it that when I taught for the Alaskan group, just that I was teaching maybe different classes in different schools, and so I could use the same lesson with this school and that school, and so I wouldn't have to recreate it every day or every week. And if the kids don't show for the hour that I was teaching the Alaska kids, then you just do a mini lesson for 30 minutes, and that was nice to just deliver it all at once and not just sitting there the whole hour doing nothing necessarily. And you're still paid the full rate. I guess I appreciate the respect of iTutor paying you the full amount.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
When you're there for that time.
That we're always appreciative and of our educators and respectful of their time. Our educators are all professionals. We want to make sure that we're treating them well and that they want to come back and stay working with us.
So if anybody is curious about iTutor, check out iTutor.com. This is the best place for you to find out. You can ask them directly. They're very good with emails or the phone calls. If you call them, very good at getting through to somebody. And they are Eastern time. So keep in mind that when you call, they close, at that time. That's where the main office is. But
yes, you can always send a message and you will get a response. We're hoping that we have, a nice big growth, a boom. We did over the summer. We were very, very busy, like I said, with our grant partners. We are, helping to serve a lot of our K-12 partners, some of them who needed a platform, to use. They weren't sure where to put their educators to be, facing their students every day. So we are working a lot more with our K-12 partners to let them use our platform and, train their educators to use our platform, et cetera. I think that with our grant partners, the same thing's going to happen is, we're in much more demand now because of the fact that students are home and they're going to need some help. They don't get as much synchronous, face-to-face time with their educators as they would need. And so, yeah, it looks like it's going to be a super busy fall. We are hoping that, of course, the pandemic will get better and hopefully we'll all be able to return to the classroom. But in the meantime, we are here and available for our partners.
That's great. So if I were a school, would I be able to still find you easily through the website?
Yes. Go to iTutor. And again, they can request a quote or they can, do a chat or send a message on the contact us button and they're able to get a hold of us. Absolutely.
Okay. So just the chat or the...
Yes, when you log in, the chat right there will come up on the lower right-hand side, or you can go to contact us or request a quote. And either way, we will get in touch with whoever, sends in any kind of question or wants more information.
Great. And if anybody wants to see it, there we go. Zoom in right here.
Yes.
855-694-8886.
Correct.
There we go.
So, or they can email us at info@itutor.com with any questions that they may have, and we will make sure and get back with them.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you for having me. It was great to see you
being here. I was so excited
to spend some time
to interview you. I was so excited. Like, this is so awesome. He's gonna interview with me for
Thank you for asking.
Yeah, you're welcome.